Hey guys, so I know this seems super surreal since it's been like nearly a month and I haven't been on. Right off the bat, I will say this format will be a tiny bit different just because, like I said, it's been a while and I'm just more interested in updating you guys and just kind of, you know, having a more laid back type of video where I'm just doing my spread with you, no previous sketching or layout prep done, just jumping right into it like old times. If you're someone who does not enjoy the ranting and all of that, just know that you can always mute this video, turn on some music, and enjoy the time-lapse portions that I do insert. If you enjoy videos like this, be sure to give me a thumbs up and let's jump in. Okay, so starting out, I'm going to use this insert, and I just got that out of this really old Kate Spade planner. So this is so useful, almost like giving it a second life since I didn't get to use it too much. So just jumping right in, how have you guys been? Like, how has everything been? It's been like a month, and I know I posted an apartment hunt tour type of video, but I just felt like it wasn't enough. Like, I definitely missed you guys. I missed doing my bullet journaling, and for people that keep up with me even outside of the bullet journaling, which I really appreciate, I don't know, I just felt like it had been too long and I wanted to catch up, so here I am. Last time I did a video, I was mentioning to you guys that, you know, I was going through a move and that I would see how everything was going. Well, that move happened, and I'm not sure if you guys can tell by the lighting or by, you know, if things look slightly different, but I'm actually sitting in my living room now, right in front of my new huge window in my apartment. And I say that in the most humble of ways, but I feel so lucky. We lived in an apartment in Harlem for quite some time, and while like it was okay, like I didn't mind living there entirely, it was just, it wasn't for us. And it was such a dark apartment. Even though we faced the streets, we could never have our curtains wide open because then you'd have people staying right into your apartment. So things just weren't, I guess, how we expected them to be. And I was kind of disappointed because the whole point of moving to New York was to, like, you know, enjoy our new space and enjoy everything that we had worked so hard for. And then here we were in this apartment that we totally just loathed. We didn't love it. I'm gonna be using some new accessories today. I want to give this company a shout out because they definitely have been patient with me and these products, and they also sent me a few things to share with you guys. So this is a new washi tape that I want to try out. As you guys can see, it's like the fall leaves, and it's just this really pretty orange color. It matches my new Tombow brush pen perfectly. And this is what it looks like once you unravel. Like, see? Like that. So I'm gonna tear off a few pieces and just kind of get this page decorated a bit. Again, going back to my old style of not being too planned out or too perfect. So long story short, we did it. We found a new apartment and we moved to Brooklyn. But I figured I would uncover those events with you guys because that's what makes the story more exciting, right? So here I'm just pulling out a couple of primary like fall colors that I think would be really cute for this layout. Yeah, so one of the events that occurred was that Dustin and I hired this task rabbiter, and he shows up nice and early. He is great and he's helping us move. And we had Dakota in the apartment. While Dustin and the task rabbiter were just standing there chatting, I happened to say like, oh, you know, have you seen Dakota? And the look on Dustin's face just said it all. It basically said, no, I have not seen our dog. And when you call for Dakota, he's usually like really good about answering, and he didn't. So long story short, Dakota ran away, and that was like one of the scariest moments, I would say, of my life. I know that sounds crazy because most people are thinking like, it's just a dog, who cares? But Dakota's my baby, you know, like I don't have any kids and this is the only dog that I've had for this long. Dustin and I have had Dakota for over 10 years together. So you can only imagine. It's a really like unlikely thing, but this pet store owner saw Dakota on the street, and he basically said he didn't think a dog that looked that well taken care of could have been a stray, and so he kept him in the shop and hoped that, you know, the owner would come and find him. And Dustin just happened to be walking by and saw Dakota in the window, and we're just so grateful. Most people who have pets that run away never get them back. And this was something that, you know, we could have easily avoided and didn't. And I just think we're so lucky, you know, that we get to keep our pet. Dustin and I had a weekend together, and we were about to get up and get a whole bunch of work done, and I just had a really bad cough that I could not kick. And he was like, you know, you're coughing quite a bit. Are you sure you're okay? Should I go ahead and grab you something? And I mentioned that, like, it felt a little hard to catch my breath. And let's just say that's not something that happens to me, because I've never had asthma, and I've actually been really fit, really athletic for most of my life. And so me having a shortness of breath was something that just wasn't normal. I just started crying because I was scared, and I've never experienced this before. So because Dustin is awesome and always looking out for me, he is a great partner. He went ahead and called urgent care and got me in there as soon as possible, and I was able to see a doctor. Everything seemed okay until she started looking pretty concerned, and she kept mentioning that it was weird that my oxygen counts were just not where they were supposed to be, and that she didn't feel comfortable as a doctor letting me go home if that didn't get back to a regular place. Let's just say it wasn't going back to normal. So this looks pretty good for now, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it and move on to the next portion. So anyway, I end up at the ER. They do some more breathing treatments. Long story short, we spent way too much time there, in my opinion. Recovery went pretty well. I just rested. I tried not to do too much activity. And so I get back and everything is fine. And then I end up going to work and finding out from my mom that my aunt actually passed. And so it was just a lot of stuff back to back. Like literally it was like one thing after the next. But you know, with family and support, you know, you get through it. You find a way to get through it. I know that may sound just so simple in the scheme of things, but I just tried not to overcomplicate it. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot more hopeful. I've just been trying to be here to support my family and be here for my mom, just because she's going through a lot right now. As far as like my emotions and my mental being, I feel like I'm in a much better place than I was even just a few days ago. Just kind of looking forward to the future. I felt like in the old apartment, I was just so limited. And I know everyone says, you know, you're not your environment and your environment doesn't dictate, you know, your creativity. But I feel like for me, it was just extremely hard in that apartment, just feeling happy, you know, feeling positive, because I didn't even get daylight. And they say like it's quite crazy, but people that don't get enough sunlight, enough vitamin D in their lives are usually a bit more negative. And I think it's because we're humans and we're supposed to see daylight. But being in this new space, I'm already feeling happier, just more creative overall. Getting back to actually designing and doing interior decorating like how I used to, things that really made me happy. So when it comes to school, I have not been back to school for this semester nor summer, mostly due because of, you know, changes at work and hello, adulting. Also because, to be honest, the school that I was going to was great. And I did love the film courses that I had there. However, it was starting to get really expensive. Like I would go online and look at how much the tuition was and how much they were actually assisting with. And let's just say it wasn't much. And recently, New York had like a new piece of legislation that was passed that was talking about free education basically for any of their community colleges. And the college I was going to was not in that list. Even though a huge part of me wanted to stay at my school and I really enjoyed it, there was also a huge part of me that was like, Sheena, this is kind of ridiculous. This school is really expensive, and is this really like shit that you could not teach yourself when it comes to film? Because in the end, I'm not going to school to be a doctor. Like, there are certain things that you have to sit in a formal classroom environment and learn, and then there are other things that you can like legit just Google. So I thought about it from that standpoint, and you know, do I really want to be added to the large percentage of Americans that are basically just working to pay off insane student loans, maybe in career paths or, you know, jobs they don't really care about anymore. I found a film school here in Brooklyn that I've heard good things about. It's actually pretty close to my apartment, and so I want to check that out and see what it's about and see if it's a school that's cheaper and worth my time, because I do enjoy being in the classroom. I know that sounds crazy, and I enjoy the feeling of learning, and I don't know if I'm ready to give that up just yet, especially if the opportunity is still here. So as far as the next upcoming videos, the next video will actually be the moving vlog, showing us moving into the apartment, you know, small clips of the space and all of that and all that we went through. After that, I would like to do some type of video that's based on advice. So whether that be another bullet journal video showing how to, you know, do some more hand lettering or things like that. Then it may also be a video that is strictly about like the job hunt and how to get a job and how to have the right resume and things like that, or, you know, how to move to New York. There's videos that I think may be helpful, and a lot of it is going to come from the feedback that you guys have below. But for the most part, I have a good idea of what videos I want to post and when. Here is my October spread. Use some old techniques of pasting in pictures and using the bigger letters, focusing on one color in general, which is of course orange, because who doesn't choose that for fall? And also, all the accessories that I use in this video were provided by Mighty Journals, and I'm actually going to utilize one of these clips right now. I have my dividers, but I like to keep those in separate places, and so this just actually provides as like a third or an alternative divider. And it's also super cute. Also have a link below for Mighty Journals. You guys can go check them out. So I'm gonna do a slow flip through as always and show you guys how it looks. I guess I will see you guys in the very next video. Thank you so much for your support. It is amazing to be back, and I look forward to sharing the rest of these videos with you. Bye.